This video is going to be fun for me because I'm going to be exposing the truth of how much it actually costs to start Ecom, how much it costs to start each different business model in Ecom, Shopify, Amazon FBA, digital dropshipping, and our own business model. I see so many people on TikTok lying, like making videos saying if you have 500 in the bank, you turn it into 5 grand. Absolute nonsense. They're throwing people into complete deep ends and letting them think that they can spend their last 500 quid and come back out with 5 grand with no experience. Absolutely crazy. And to be honest, I won't mention any names, but they should be like a bit ashamed because they know it's not true. Anyone who's come to me in the last few months and asked me how much does it actually cost to start, I'll tell them straight out. Very honest. I'd rather tell them because the worst thing is they start and just lose all their money, and they probably didn't have money. That's the reason why they wanted to start. So yeah, I'm going to break down each business model: Shopify, Amazon FBA, digital dropshipping, and our own business model. I'll be very honest, and I'm going to break down each, and I'm going to show you how much roughly it should cost to start and how much you probably need to actually give it a go. So who am I? My name is Dan. I'm an engineer by trade. I left my job last year when I started getting success in dropshipping. So I left my 170k engineering career and went full-time dropshipping. Since then, I've made multiple 6 figures in organic platforms using no advertising, no fees, and no big cost setups. I've been able to spend more time with my family. I've been able to travel the world like I wanted with my missus, and we've been able to create an absolute amazing team and helping others do the same. One of the biggest achievements for me was creating our community and helping guys like basically do what we're doing and holding in-person meetups. We had a meetup in Bali, we have a meetup coming up at the end of the year, and we've got a meetup in Thailand in February, and meetups every 3 months across Europe and the US next year. So that's probably one of the biggest achievements, money aside, for me this year. It wasn't intended, but it just happened. And it's been amazing. Everyone's absolutely smashing it. Everyone's doing the same thing, all like-minded people in one group. So what we focus on is using organic platforms. So what organic means is like exactly what this video is about, like no startup costs, very low initial running costs, and it's actually easy to maintain, and you don't need a fat wallet to start. So for me, I know how hard it hits home because I failed Shopify back in the day like 4 times since 2020. I didn't have a mentor, didn't have a coach, just doing it myself. And I was pouring money into advertising, pouring money into I lost like 1,500 euros one time and then another 1,000 euros the next time. And I just lost heaps of money. So it really hits home to me when I see other gurus telling people that, oh, you can turn 500 quid into 5,000. Like it's a lie. You know, you've no experience. You're not a professional website builder. You're not a professional marketer. Even if you build a website really good, you're going to get to the marketing part and you're going to be so inexperienced compared to everyone else in the game. So it's not that easy, especially with AI nowadays. Everyone is making top class ads. They're making top class websites in the matter of a couple of hours. So for you to start out and not have all the tools, you're going to lose money to your competitors. So that's why I'm making this video. For me, I failed. I poured some money into it until we started using these organic platforms. That's when everything really took off for me. And then I had the experience and money to put back into Shopify in the end. So therefore, that's why I'm making this video, to break down, expose the liars. So if you do hear anyone making those videos, you know that they're probably lying. All right, so let's get into it. So our beloved Shopify. Everyone's heard of Shopify. When they think of dropshipping, they think of Shopify store. Shopify is something that does require experience, and it does require failures, and it does require a lot of learning. The learning curve is huge. So therefore, you see a lot of Shopify gurus in particular saying how 500 quid is enough to start and you can turn that into 10,000. And here is the truth. The reality is that 500 quid is probably going to turn into minus 5,000. Okay. So first with Shopify, you have to build your website, and you think that's the biggest task. That is not the biggest task. You get to that point and now you've got no traffic coming to the website. So now you have to go find out how to actually advertise your product, and you have to do it very well because you've got competition. Okay. You need to be in that you need to be in that top 20% of people to actually get your ads out there and seen against your competitors. So therefore, you need to be testing products anyway. So you build a store and you have your product, but testing the products is going to cost you you want about $500 to test a product. Listen to anyone who's actually succeeded. They have tested lots of products before they found the winner, right? So before they had a product that the ads were holding a 3, 4, or 5 ROAS when they scaled, they tested so many products. And each product, you would want at least $500 each to test. So what happens when we find a product? when we find a product, we're probably using one ad to say that the product is a winner, right? So the product is doing well, but we only have one ad running. So now we need to test angles. We need to test multiple different angles. So what an angle is how we actually advertise this product. Okay, so you could have 7 different angles for one product and you need to find a winner. So each angle needs to get probably at least $200 spent, right, to find a winner. So now you've got 7 angles running at $200 per day each. Okay, so we've now found a winning angle. Probably cost us a couple of thousand to find the winning product, and then it probably cost us another 1,000, 1,500 to actually find the winning angle. So now we're already down probably 3 grand at least. What happens then is we need to find a winning creative. So in that angle, we need to find more creatives that are going to boost that angle so we can have multiple ads running at 3-4 ROAS. Okay, we go from finding a winning product to a winning angle, spending thousands, right? We might be a bit profitable, but I can guarantee we're still in the minus. Now we need to find a winning creative. So we need to be spending another like $50 a day at least on each ad set. We need to run 3 or 4 ad sets at a time. So we're spending probably $200 a day. So you give a full week of this trying to find a winning creative, you might find one. When we find one, we need to find another. So you could run unprofitable for like, it could be 2 or 3 months and you actually might never get profitable. That's the thing. What happens then is when you find a winning creative or a winning angle, like you could have 100 competitors because they've been spying on you with spy tools. What I'm saying is for you to even get to this point, you have to go through 3 major breakthroughs with dropshipping. You have to find a winning product, which most people like, I've heard of people testing 300 products before they find a winning product, right? Then you have to find a winning angle, which you have to like sift through 6-7 angles. So you're spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And then you have to find winning creatives, but you have to find winning creatives every single week. You have to find like 2 or 3 a week. So you're testing 30 creatives a week. Do you know how much that cost? Like, honestly, a lot of people with Shopify are minus 5,000 and they might quit because they don't have the money to put back in. So they might get to like minus 5,000 and that's it. They might have to just pack it in. Because they've got no experience. They haven't built up experience dealing with suppliers, dealing with refunds, like dealing with advertising and knowing what products work. They've got 0. I've been in groups, I've been in Shopify mentoring groups, I've been in everything. 70% of the people in the group will never become profitable. And that's a fact. That is a straight out fact. 70%. It's only the top, it could even be 80 to be honest. It's only the top few guys who've been in the group that are actually really smashing it. And the others are going to take about a year or 2 at least like 2 years of failing, losing money, working a job to try and back up the money to actually put back into it. And that's the truth of Shopify. I'm breaking it down. It's going to cost you thousands to find a winning product. It's going to cost you like hundreds, if not thousands again, to find a winning angle. And then it's going to cost you like hundreds and hundreds to find a winning creative. Anyone that tells you that their first product won is probably lying. They probably jumped on a team of 5 people who already had a winning product. Okay. So that's the harsh reality as well. You see dashboards with 100 grand, like the margin, the net margin is like 10 to 20%, you know? So someone might be doing 100 grand, they might have it on their Instagram story and all that, but the margin could be 10 to 20%, which is 10 to 20 grand. You break it down, there's a team of like 5 or 6 people on that. So you break down 10 grand, like divided up between 5 or 6 people. Even if it's 15, it's still fuck all for all the sales you got. Breaking down the truth and everything, because we get a lot of people come to us and they're like, oh, I just want to make big money on Shopify. That's what I want to like hit 100 grand. And I'm like, it doesn't mean you're making more money. It actually means that it could take you 2 years to do that and you're going to lose probably 20 grand in the meantime. Boom, there's the reality of Shopify. And there's not a lot of people talk about it. So there it is. Amazon FBA. Amazon FBA is good if you've got a lot of financial backing. Okay, it is a lot riskier. With dropshipping and Shopify, you can basically like just never hold the product. And for the first while, you can get paid for the product. And then a few days later, then you'll get paid out. So you can never hold the product. You just send the product from the supplier to the customer. That's the beauty about Shopify. There's not a lot of risk in it. The only risk you'll have is advertising. That's it. You might lose thousands to advertising, but with Amazon FBA, you have to buy inventory. So when you buy inventory and the setup costs, like you're looking at like anywhere between $2,000 and $10,000 to $15,000, $20,000 to actually get started. I've seen guys who invested in products to go to the warehouse. One guy I know invested 20 grand and he lost all of it. Like he lost that 20 grand. Very important that you study these business models and you know how much financial backing you need before you start. It's so important. You can easily lose a lot of money. Now, there is probably safer ways of doing Amazon FBA to start, but I just know of 2 or 3 people that are actually personally close to me that have lost a lot of money on it. So it's high risk. Unless you have that money to lose, don't listen to any mentors. Don't listen to any gurus saying that, oh, you'll be fine. We can turn that 2K into like 15K. Don't listen to them. If you only have 2K in the bank, do your research. Find out how much financial backing it needs. The same with Shopify, okay? Don't go into Shopify with only 2 grand in your bank. Chances are you won't have money for food in about 6 weeks. That's Amazon FBA. Amazon FBA needs like inventory. It needs high investment, and it's a lot higher risk unless you're going in with a team of people like that are already doing it. This is like good for Shopify too. If you've got a team of people that are already doing it, it's probably good to jump in with them. Okay, shadow them for a while and then start your own thing on the side. Another business model, which actually I like. I enjoy the thought of it, and we've tried it before and it's actually done quite well. Although time is the issue and we never went full in on it. But digital dropshipping. So digital dropshipping is selling digital products online. Having products that basically people like just advent calendars, like mini courses, PDF guides and all that, selling those online. The only thing about digital products is you have to build a funnel, right? And the funnel might take a while to build. Now, the research behind the digital products is kind of tough, you're kind of guessing every time. You can see what works and you can copy funnels, which is good. That's what I would recommend doing. But it comes down to advertising again. We're going to be spending money on advertising, the exact same thing. We're going to spend money trying to find the winning digital product, which is going to cost it could cost up to $1,000, Then we're going to spend money trying to find the winning creative and the winning angle and the winning advertising approach, which could cost a couple of grand again. So the actual initial cost of digital dropshipping is cheap. You can set up the funnel for free. You can build a digital product for free, which is good, but the advertising costs might still kill you. The product might never take off and the advertising costs might absolutely run rings around you. So just be aware that digital dropshipping can cost you money with advertising. Now you can list on platforms like I'm going to talk about in a minute, but running ads for digital is running meta ads. It's the same place we're running ads for physical products in Shopify dropshipping. It's the same platform. So it costs the same amount. So it can potentially cost the same amount for ad costs. You have to test the product, then you have to test probably angles, then you have to test the creatives. You're constantly going to be testing creatives. It's the same thing, especially with Meta's new updates, Andromeda, you need to be on the ball testing loads of different types of creatives. It actually does take a lot of time in the end, and it definitely will cost money. So if you have no money starting digital dropshipping, be aware it still costs money. It might sound like it's free to set up, but you'll get to a point where it's going to cost you money, and might cost you a fair bit. And the thing is, the products usually only cost like €10, €20, and it can be unprofitable for a while depending on how much you're spending on ads. Be aware as well, a lot of these things are probably going to cost, in the US, people are charging 5 to 10K for mentoring for these platforms. 5 to 10K, which you're already down between 5 and 10K before you start. So to actually get to the point where you're profitable and you're spending thousands on advertising, you're spending thousands on inventory with Amazon FBA, that can take a fucking long time, especially if you can't get profitable with the ad costs. Never mind trying to get profitable with how much you invested in the mentor. So just bear that in mind. Now, this is the approach we use. The reason why we use it is because we don't want people joining who only have $1,000 or $200 in their bank and just losing everything. Okay, a lot of people we work with is local people that I know, right? So these are people that I would have known back in the day, and now we work with them in person, right? So first of all, we don't want people losing money. People don't have money to lose. We don't want people coming in and they're not earning a lot of money in their job. We want them to make money. We don't want them to lose money. That's why we use platforms like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and Etsy. These platforms are free to use. There's no advertising, there's no setup costs. I tried dropshipping 4 times with Shopify since 2020, and I was always unprofitable. When I started using Facebook Marketplace, that's when I got my first sale. I can tell you exactly what it was. It was a dog statue I sold to a woman named Sheila from Victoria in Australia for €25. I remember the first sale because I was like, whoa, this actually works. I can't believe it. First day I was profitable. First day. How insane is that? finally found a business model where you can be profitable from the get-go, okay? So what we use is Facebook Marketplace. You've been using Facebook Marketplace for years probably. You've seen it. But instead of using Facebook to scroll videos and consume, we're using Facebook to be a supplier. So we're using Facebook to actually sell products. Marketplace is free to use, there's no ad cost. So you can literally start doing it today and it won't cost you an absolute penny. Most of the people who start with us, 75%, this is the genuine statistic, are getting sales in their first week. So that means in their first week, they're profitable already because they didn't spend money on ads, they didn't have any setup costs. Facebook Marketplace is free to use. Therefore, you're putting money back in people's pockets rather than telling them we can turn 500 quid into 5 grand, which is fucking bullshit. eBay is another platform, right? The first sale will hold your money for 21 days. And after that, it's next day payouts. So what we've seen people do is we bring them in and we show them how to use it, and people are getting paid for the product from the supplier or the customer. People are getting paid for the product from the customer. So the customer pays them like $80 for the product. Then like the next day or 2 days later, they'll actually get paid that money. So they can go to AliExpress, they can go to CJ Dropshipping, buy the product and send it to the customer. It didn't even have to come out of their bank. So again, they're just profitable. They've got an extra $30, $40 per sale. They can go spend that on a dinner. Like I literally did a video last year where I said, I'm gonna go for a dinner and I'm gonna see, can I pay for it with Facebook Marketplace? So I literally went on, got a sale, had extra 40 quid in my bank and just went and paid for the dinner. Like simple as. So we use a platform called Etsy as well. Etsy costs €17 to start up. And after that, then you can list products, the fee, like the sales will pay for the fees, and away we go. It's not costing people thousands. There's no risk. We've had 100% success rate with guys in the group. Like, why are people trying to convince people to try and start with these platforms that are going to cost them thousands? We're literally doing it the safest way, low risk, and we're not taking people's savings away. That's the thing. We're not convincing people, oh, put a couple of grand in this, you know, and they lose all their money. We're not like that. That's what we're not aiming for. I wouldn't take responsibility for that. The best Shopify gurus with their mentors, again, like their mentorships still only have a 70% or still only have like a 30% people actually get profitable. And they're the best in the industry. Like we've got 100% already and we're only up and running since July. So we use platforms that no advertising costs, no setup fees, and just no running costs really. It pays for itself. We also make these into a passive income. Everyone enjoys the process because everyone sees results very quickly. In the first month, it's probably 95% of people are seeing like their first sales. Some people have small delays, but 95% are profitable in their first month. So that's what we do. That's what we do at EcomEdge. And we respect people's money. We don't lie to people. We're straight out with people who start. And yeah, each one of these platforms we use is a business model. There's people making 10K months on eBay. There's people making 10K months on Etsy. I've seen people sell furniture on Facebook Marketplace, like staged as a furniture company, selling furniture, drop shipping it, and making 5 to 10K a month. Okay, they're getting like $500-600 per purchase profit into their bank. So this is how I broke out my 9 to 5. This is how I broke out my engineering career. And I've been absolutely hammering these platforms. I've done multiple 6 figures in the last 12 months. If you do want to find out more about what we do personally, either jump on a call below. I'm leaving a call link open just for the first week after this video is published, because we want to expand our network across Europe and across the US. So I'm leaving the call link below. And also, if you just want to have a chat and ask some questions, hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram will be down below as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you got some value, and I hope I exposed some people that are lying to people online. So yeah, boom, let's go.